Hi everyone, I plan on using the following edpuzzle in my AP Stat class. I hope you enjoy. Hi everyone, this video is an introduction to Chapter 4, Sampling Techniques. Please answer the questions interspersed throughout the video.
Let's look at the types of biased samples. Biased samples occur when one or more parts of the population are favored over others. The two types of biased samples include the convenience sample and the voluntary response sample. A convenience sample only includes people who are easy to reach. If this is our population, and a researcher comes along to interview people, then he would only talk to the people that are closer to him to be part of the sample. This is a biased sampling method because not everyone in the population has an equal chance of being part of the sample. Only people that are of convenience to the researcher will be interviewed. Now, a voluntary response sample consists of people that have chosen to include themselves in the sample. So the researcher lets people come to him. This is a biased sampling method because people with a strong interest for the survey topic are the ones who are most likely to respond, whereas the people who don't feel as strongly about the topic may not even care to respond. Remember that a good sample is one that is representative of the entire population, and it gives each thing an equal chance of being chosen. When you have these conditions, you have what is known as an unbiased sample. We will be looking at three different types.
This is the first quiz question that I would give to my students to ascertain whether or not they understood the material.
Stratified random sampling, multistage sampling, and simple random sampling. The most basic type of sampling is the simple random sample, also known as an SRS. Since an SRS is unbiased, each individual has an equal chance of being chosen to be surveyed. In other words, to be part of the sample. You can think of an SRS as putting names into a hat and selecting N of them. So if I wanted a sample size of 6, I would select 6 papers and come up to the randomly chosen people to interview them.
Here is the second question. Students traditionally have trouble understanding the complete definition of SRS, and that's why I included this question.
For a stratified random sample, we take the population and we divide it into something called a strata. Strata refers to the groups of similar people. Within each stratum, we take an SRS and combine the SRSs to get the full sample. For example, we could take an SRS of 2 people from each group so that we get the total of 6 people. A stratified random sample is good for making sure that whoever is administering the sample gets in contact with each kind of group. The last type of sampling is called multistage sampling. For multistage sampling, we use a combination of 2 or more simple random samples.
And
Hi
here,
everyone, this one last final question I'd like you to end this video with. Please answer it, and tomorrow we'll be discussing sampling techniques in much more detail. See you tomorrow!
here is my final question. I hope you enjoyed this edpuzzle. Thank you.